Welcome. Pig was released in 2021 and is the directorial debut of Michael Sarnoski. It stars Nicolas Cage and Alex Wolff and is about a truffle hunter whose beloved pig gets kidnapped. So I didn't hear about this film until I was on Twitter, and I kept on getting ads for this movie. And I saw a few comments saying how this movie is like John Wick, except it involves Nick Cage and a pig. And I was set. I was like, I want to go see this. If I'm going to see Nick Cage beat some ass, I want to see this. You know, I just watched Willy's Wonderland, where he is so funny in that movie. I was really excited to see him as a John Wick type character. And let me just say before you go start thinking of the expectation of that, the movie is not like that at all. I just want to get that out there. I felt a little bit lied to with that being said to me, and I feel like the trailer leads you on a little bit to suspect that it might kind of be like a John Wick. We see a lot of action in the trailer. There's not a lot of action in the movie. There is a little bit, but I do want to say the expectation of it being John Wick, it is not. So with all of that being said, and me being lied to about it being like John Wick, I will say I ended up really enjoying this movie. I thought it was actually pretty good, and that Nicolas Cage has such an amazing performance. Now, I did not expect to say that going into the movie and then going into a review after. I do want to put that out there. I did not expect it at all, but man, Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage's character just feels so vulnerable, and his performance feels very grounded, which is so strange in words that I never expected to say about Nicolas Cage, but I really enjoyed his performance in this movie, and I think that the movie itself was pretty good. Now, it does have a few flaws, which I will get into, but just right off the bat, Nicolas Cage is actually really good in this movie. So I want to speak on a con now after I said how great Nicolas Cage's performance is, and I want to say that the promotion of this movie, I think, is a really big upset. And I really talk about it a lot, where trailers will ruin too much of the movie, they show too much, or sometimes they portray a movie that isn't like how it's supposed to be. And by that I mean, I look at The Village by M. Night Shyamalan. If you watch the trailers, you think it's a horror movie, and going into it, I thought it was a horror movie. It is not at all. It's more of a romance thriller, if anything. I mean, there's very few horror elements to that movie, but the trailer does a big disservice by portraying it as a horror movie. And I think the trailer for Pig does it a disservice, because going into it, I kind of thought it was going to be a lot more action than what I got. It was a lot of talking, a lot of development, everything was very mental, and there was a lot of growth for our characters, not by beating the crap out of people, but by having conversations and learning more about each other. We learn more about Nicolas Cage's character, why he's in the woods. We find out more about Amir's character, who is the person who buys truffles off of Nicolas Cage. We see that he's this very rigid, I guess rigid wouldn't be the right word. He's kind of a show-off and wants to show that he could be a big entrepreneur to his dad. He wants to show it off to his dad. And we kind of learn more about it and more about him as the movie goes on. But it's done very well. The trailer just does it a disservice by not really showing us how great that those moments really were. And I'm not saying that the trailer should have spoiled anything, but it just portrayed the movie wrong. Another positive that I do want to say about this movie is the acting. I've already talked about Nicolas Cage, but Alex Wolff as Amir, he's fantastic. I think Adam Arkin is the name of the actor who plays Darius. such a great job. I mean, we have really strong acting performances, and the script isn't too bad. Now, I have pros and cons for the script. I think there was a lot of funny moments in the movie that is definitely based off of scripting and just the great acting. But then there's moments where I was like, what just happened? The script kind of felt like Nicolas Cage acting moments where you'll watch him and you're like, oh, okay. And then he just does something so outlandish and you're like, yep, that's Nick Cage. But what just happened? There's a specific moment like that in this movie. And I am really trying my best not to spoil it. But I really badly want to say what it is. So if you're interested, watch to the end of the review and then I'll spoil it for you because... wow. Overall, I think this movie is acted very greatly. I think that the script could have been better than what it was. There was a few too many outlandish moments, but I think that there's a very nice message in this movie, and it doesn't hold any stops with talking about a serious topic. So, overall, I'd give Pig a 6.5 out of 10. And if you like Nicolas Cage and you want to see him in a serious role, then I definitely recommend this movie. I think this is probably one of the best acting performances I've seen of Nick Cage. So to quickly say the moment that is just so outlandish, and this is spoiler, so here's your little spoiler warning. Okay. There's an underground chef fight club, and we see it, and Nicolas Cage partakes in it a little bit. Yeah. Out there, just completely what is happening moment. Yeah. Nicolas Cage, Chef Fight Club. So thank you everyone for watching this review, and be on the lookout for more reviews in the future. I think the next review is going to be Space Jam 2, so be on the lookout for that. But let's flash forward to the next review.